Okay, Madam Clerk, back on?
Yes.
Okay. Town board members, members of the audience, just want to announce to everybody, I have stepped down as supervisor of the town of Hempstead. I want to say what an honor and a privilege and a friendship all of you have been. And to the residents, you've always been very kind to me. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve all of you. Even the critics have been the nicest people in the world to me. And I wish all of you the greatest success. And God bless you and God bless America. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Let's call the administrative calendar.
Okay, Deputy Supervisor, you have called the administrative calendar.
Deputy Supervisors and members of the board, I would ask that item 61, entitled authorizing the transfer and modification of various funds, be amended. With regard to the Parks and Recreation Department line item, it would increase by $6,985. I've given you an updated transfer line with regard to each and every one of them. I'd ask for a motion to amend that line.
So moved. Second.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
We're opening for public comments.
Actually, could we have a motion?
Oh, yeah, we have one.
Deputy
I make a motion for the,
On the administrative
oh, wait
calendar,
a
we
minute.
have.
I'm sorry, there's one other speaker here. Is that Demetria?
Before we
Merit?
speaker, can I call the administrative?
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. On the administrative calendar, we have items 8 through 68.
Mhm. Okay. Am I supposed to call now? I make a motion on the administrative calendar.
Second.
Okay.
I make a motion for the administrative calendar.
Seconded the motion.
Second motion.
And shall we hold that vote in abeyance until we hear from the members of the public?
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to speak on the administrative calendar?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Most respectfully, you can't shout out from the audience. Everything is on, we're talking about items 8 through 68 on the administrative calendar. That's it.
So please come to the, if you have not spoken and you would like to speak, please come to the,
Good morning, Deputy Supervisor
Good morning.
Gooseby. Thank you for opening up for public comment on administrative calendar. On number 8, where's the location of the property in Uniondale for emergency road post threat imminent danger authorization for special assessment? Do you know the location of that, please?
no, I do not know, but I mean, someone will come up and tell
I
us
think those
what
two
it is.
gentlemen from before that spoke. Where are they?
He spoke to you before.
Not that. I'm saying when Mr. Clavin was here. There are two people that gave
He's
that
not
location.
here.
But
You just
do you-
heard that he's leaving. He's finished.
I'm saying if you could
Clayton.
tell me the location, the place
I
in
have,
Union.
just wait for him. I don't know exactly where it
Okay,
is, but
all
he
right,
will.
thank you.
Go ahead.
Good morning, members of the board, Deputy Supervisor. Dan Leo, Deputy Commissioner Building Department. The address that you're referring to is 899 Jerusalem Avenue in Uniondale. That's a commercial building that was open and abandoned that we secured.
Okay, thank you.
Next on the administrative calendar, and it's the only one signed in for the administrative calendar, Demetria Deteria.
Marcia D. Thierry, Merrick, New York. Item 43 was the town sold the property, existing building. I was wondering if there's an existing building there. It's 67,000 square feet of open space, or was there a building there?
There is no building there. It's basically open space, and part of it is already used as a parking lot for another piece of property that the county rents out. The gentleman who owns the building is attempting to buy this piece of the adjacent property. The gentleman who owns the adjacent property is attempting to buy it. It's a piece of property that the town got from the county, and the county got it from the state. So it's right along the railroad tracks down in Wantor, and it still has to be approved by the state, the county, and there will be some remuneration of money to us, but we're going to have to split that with the county and hopefully not anybody else.
I just wanted to mention, open space would absorb a lot of flood waters. As you know, there is so many natural disasters going on now. Open space is needed for absorption. As you know, overdevelopment is not eco-friendly and ultimately will affect all of us. So the more open space we have, the more flood waters that'll be absorbed and the less damage to homes. And also, as you know, I'm a big tree preservationist. Trees absorb that water too, so cutting down the trees to build more parking lots is not eco-friendly either. Thank you.
We have no one else that signed up for the administrative calendar. This is just the administrative calendar. Does anybody like to speak? Ms. Madden? Oh, I'm sorry.
Hello. Good morning. Chris Jacobs, Uniondale. Item number 40, it says, on opening resolution, it says during the coursework, several issues were unanticipated at the time of the project was designed and creating the need to perform additional work related to the piping and conveyance systems at the site regarding increase in restoration work. So on item number 40 regarding the water district, what are the extra additional work that had to be performed in the piping and conveyance system?
Okay, you've answered that.
Good morning, Deputy Supervisor Gooseby, John Reinhardt, Commissioner of the Department of Water. The additional work revolved around additional piping that we had to do. So the general contractor had to do additional asphalt restoration in that area. In the process of doing the work, there was 2 components in the piping that had to be replaced, and that added to the amount of restoration.
Okay, thank you for the answer.
Anyone else?
Diane Madden, Hempstead. I'm hoping congratulations is due to you, Deputy Supervisor Gooseby. Hopefully you'll be stepping up into this seat and
Ms. Madden,
honoring
you have a question on the
democracy.
administrative calendar? Be
Yes,
able to
sir, I
speak
do.
publicly
Number
later.
45, please.
Okay,
We're amending our resolution that we amend from time to time. The town attorney's office was a lot bigger prior to my being here. So we use a lot of outside counsel. So we're amending and we did it 2 months ago, and we probably did it 6 months before that. So from time to time, in specialized things, we hire attorneys to represent us, and we've added an attorney to our list this week.
So you're adding more
Outside counsel.
attorneys?
Yes.
Okay. Any relation to the 3 lawsuits against the town and the animal shelter and its officials?
Has nothing to do with it.
Unrelated?
Not related at all.
Okay. Item number 22, please. Macaron Plumbing.
I'm an attorney, you know. I should have been a plumber. They're my fourth or fifth cousins. They don't live anywhere near me. I do not represent them. I have very little contact with them. I can say with complete honesty, Ms. Madden, that I've spoken to you 10 times more than I've spoken to any of them. Only time I really get involved is there's another person with the same name in county government. So they're the low bidder. They were approved by the appropriate department.
Okay, thank you. And I as well have been speaking to you 10 times more than others, and you've been a good attorney. I hope that you refer to your own conscience moving forward, particularly related to the animal shelter, the injuries that are taking place there, and possibly, in my opinion, the reason that you have to add even more outside attorneys that will cost us additional money, in addition to a 12% tax hike this coming year. So thank you, Mr. Town Attorney, and
Well,
glad
Ms.
to
Madden,
hear.
let's get it straight, Ms. Madden. It wasn't a 12% tax increase. It was a 4.9% tax increase. The other money that you're talking about was because this town board has caused the town to be a place to come to. So that other money that you're talking about, that Newsday reports and other people report, are because of increased assessments, because people are building houses, they're building commercial properties in the town, and they're putting dormers on their house. So naturally, when someone gets up and decides that they're going to double the size of their house because they really want to live in the town of Hempstead, they pay more money. That's where that other money came from, not from a 12% tax increase. It was 4.9%. So when you're going to get up here and you're going to say certain things, make sure you check your facts.
Well, I will be checking. I don't mind checking your facts. I certainly will check my facts. And I was always under the impression that when someone moves in and dormers their house, that some of those taxes go into the pot, not take from and raise the taxes. So the bottom line is that if these taxes were not going up, you wouldn't see a fleet of Republicans fleeing out of this town, Mr. Town Attorney. And that's not sad for me. That's sad for you. Have a nice day.
Anyone else? Okay, please give your name.
Supervisor,
address?
I'm sorry. Yes, Supervisor Gooseby.
I'm not the supervisor, deputy
Supervisor
supervisor.
Gooseby. Resolution 26, right? Installation and configure of camera systems at 3 town locations. Can I be made aware of those 3 locations, please?
Okay, Parks,
What number was it? Oh, Kyle's coming up. What number did you say?
Good morning, Deputy Supervisor, members of the board. There were 3 locations bid. There were only 2 locations being awarded. The one location at Town Hall is not being awarded. The 2 locations on award are Azalea Park in Levittown and Spino Park in East Meadow.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Item number 41, I would like to know the location of the tower improvements at Well 10, Roosevelt Field. Can you specify which water tower we're speaking of?
No, I'm good.
Good morning again, Deputy Supervisor, members of the Town Board, Commissioner Reinhardt, Department of Water. This is a packed tower aerator, commonly known as an air stripper. It's not a water tower. This is located at Stewart Avenue at the intersection of the Meadowbrook Parkway in Roosevelt Field Water District.
Can you give me clarification regarding the type? You said it's not a water tower, it's a strip tower. What is it?
It's a water treatment device.
Water treatment device. Okay, thank you.
yes, your name and address,
Yes,
please.
my name is Lynn Krug, Garden City, New York. I normally don't comment on, these items that are in the administrative calendar, but I have to ask, and this is in reference to item 32, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. And basically, you are authorizing an award, a formal bid, for Ford Super Duty trucks from Nielsen Ford of Morristown Incorporated. I just want to ask, we have Hempstead Ford, Hassett Ford of Wantaw, Levittown Ford LLC, and Crown Ford of Lynbrook. How did you award this to a New Jersey contractor? Did you follow the OGS state contracts? I just think this is kind of strange to me, why we wouldn't want to keep our money within New York State and award it to local vendors. I just want to know why you approved this. Was this a discretionary purchase? Generally, that's $50,000 or more has to go through the formal bidding process. I just want to understand this because it just seems very strange to me, and I'm sure other people might be concerned too. It's a lot of money you're spending. So could someone please tell me how this happened?
Excuse me. If you're using his time, you're using her time. We have someone who's going to answer her question, so please don't start that. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, Deputy Supervisor, members of the Town Board. Don Nicolongobardi, Deputy Town Controller. These contracts were bid, these are formal bids for a specific item. They were bid under public bidding laws and New York State law. And these are the responses. They were bid, they were the only bidder. We did not get bids. We did send it to the local vendors. We do work very closely with the local vendors on many occasions, but in this case, they were the only ones who bid. They are a fleet dealer as well throughout New York State, so they do get a lot of business from many local governments. But these were done with the full laws and done every way that they're supposed to be done correctly. So,
Well, when I worked for Con Ed, I worked in auditing, and we had a purchasing department. And when you get only one bid, we used to say, wait a minute, something must be happening here, why we didn't attract more bids. In the future, if you only get one bid on a contract, I would have rebid and see if you got any more. I don't think one bid is acceptable. That's just my own opinion. And I also have some comments on item number 20. You accepted a community benefit donation from the Valley Stream Green Acres LLC. What was accepted?
There was a hearing held a while back, a couple of months back, and now it's the custom, not just in this municipality, but other municipalities, when developers or people want to build big projects in the town, it affects the community. So as a result, we ask the developer, we don't tell them, we ask them to make a recommendation as to what they would like to benefit, what they would like to give to the town because of the impacts that this new, and in this case, it's the changing of, I believe, a department store to a supermarket, will have an effect on the community. So in this case, they offered us $210,000. We accepted that, and that'll be used to defray roads that are built in the area, maybe in some cases when it was an apartment building in Baldwin for a park, things like that. So people are offering us money to allay the problems that may be caused by their developments, and we accept it, and that's what we're doing here today.
Well, let the public decide about this one. Number 21. I see that you authorized the acceptance of the donation of a gazebo from Elisa Gasparini for the benefit of the town of Hempstead Animal Shelter. What is her relationship with the town of Hempstead?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm Gerald Marino, the Commissioner of General Services with the town of Hempstead. Ms. Gasparino is a resident of the town, and she just wanted to, she loves animals, and she wanted to make a donation not to exceed about $4,000 to put a nice gazebo so the dog can sit and stay in the shade and so forth.
Well, I'm of the opinion that nothing is free.
Well, in this case, it's free.
To it. Well, I know it's not on your agenda, but can I ask the question?
Okay, excuse me. Your time is up, madam. Thank you. Okay, the next person,
Deputy Supervisor, it's Ms. Meriday.
Ms. Maraday. Mhm.
I guess it's still morning. I've been told that the presider has left, so.
Well, would you please make your name and address, please, ma'am? We know who you are, but we like to be say it. Okay.
I'm a resident of the world.
Oh, good for you.
And God blesses me with it too. So I just want to make sure I'm speaking to whoever is presiding, because I've always been chastised as to who is in charge of the meeting. But all things considered, with this calendar, my concerns have to do with clearly what has been spoken earlier about these contracts for these Ford trucks. When our police officers are running around in vehicles that are, 5, 10, 15 years old. But hey, I guess everybody deserves to get an F10. Most of our residents are trying to catch a bus or getting delayed by Accessoride, including our seniors and our veterans. I have questions about 58 and 59. The settlements, I know that the town is often running neck and neck, sometimes behind or ahead of Nassau County. I don't know if the town's litigation fund is as large as Nassau County's, but the residents continue to suffer from that. So if somebody could address 58 and 59, I'm just trying to get all my numbers on here before my time wears out, and hopefully I can get an answer with regard to that.
Ms. Meriday, it involves two lawsuits. One involved a traffic accident with a town vehicle. There was some significant injuries that resulted in a replacement of a knee to a 62-year-old woman. She also had some significant back injuries. The town was able to settle that for $97,500 on the eve of trial. The second one involves a slip and fall in a parking lot after a snowstorm, where it's alleged, and the town settled it, so it's alleged that the town plowed before that. And this was a pretty horrific injury. It was a 46-year-old woman who had a compound fracture of her leg, significant scarring as a result. And initially, there was a demand of $1.3 million. We went to court, and there was back and forth. And immediately prior to trial, that case was settled for $450,000. It was a good outcome based upon the injuries and the possibility of the town being liable. We also made several motions which were denied. So as a result, it was something that was going to trial. And based on the nature of the injury, $450,000 is a very reasonable settlement.
Okay. 22 through 29. Those contracts, and again, I have requested, if possible, since we're now in 2025, but I know this is now the era of DEI must DIE, but some of us are still opposed to that and still fighting for that. I've yet to see it. At least the county has taken the recommendation, maybe from me, maybe from others, that they notify or at least signify in the contract or the documents for the public that these contracts are going to, let's say, a service-disabled veteran, a minority business owner, a woman business owner. I know I can't say veteran, I can't say minority, I can't say woman anymore, but I still like to feel that those words can be included in our lexicon. So can someone give me any detail as to who versus maybe a family friend or cousin has these particular contracts? And my clock is still ticking, and I'm at 30. I was at 30 seconds.
Your time is up as of 28 minutes. You have 28 seconds left.
No, actually, I
Go
have
ahead.
3 other ones, but anyway.
Nelson.
Good morning again. All of these contracts were bid under New York State law and the town of Hempstead policy. So they're being awarded to the people who won them, and they won them under fair and square bidding rules and regulations that we have. So.
But that didn't answer my question. Fair and square means what? That does anybody look like me? That would not make it fair and square. I'm just maybe equal, but okay. That's your answer and you're sticking to it. That's fine. 35 and 36. And my clock is still a tick.
Yep, no, you got 2 minutes, that's it.
Oh, I got another 2 minutes? Okay,
2
cool.
seconds, 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
You said 2 minutes. It's on
I'm
the record.
telling you, it's 2
Where's the
seconds.
stenographer? Did she say 2 minutes? She said 2
Listen,
minutes, right?
2 seconds.
Good morning, Deputy Supervisor, members of the board, Kyle Megan, Parks and Recreation. What was the question on 35 and 36?
The purpose and as far as where they're
1,
going.
2, that's it.
I don't get, he has to answer
wanna-
the question.
35 was the ratification and affirmation of referee payments. We do tournaments in Oceanside, soccer tournaments, and we pay our referees. We actually pay them below market rate. And 36 was for the emergency repairs of 2 pool liners.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry? Pool liners, commercial pool liners.
Okay, all right, that's it, I'm sorry.
Deputy Supervisor, that's it. I believe you had a motion to approve the administrative calendar?
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the calendar? Board members?
So moved.
Okay. So
Second.
I make a motion that the board approve the administrative calendar in its entirety.
Second?
I second it.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
That includes the meeting?
Deputy
Yes?
Supervisor, I move that this board appoint John F. Ferretti of Levittown, New York, to fill the vacancy in the office of a town supervisor caused today by Don Clavin's resignation.
Second the motion.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
I
Councilwoman Miller.
no, I
Most
did not.
respectfully, you'll get to address the board later. Some
Councilman
decorum, please.
Muscarella. Councilman Muscarella. Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
Okay, and I did not vote. I cannot vote. All right, know that.
I'll throw my hand up. Ready?
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Decorum, please. Decorum, please.
Listen.
Most respectfully, if you continue this, you'll be asked to leave.
Okay, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it, what you have to do.
Okay, Johnny, you're gonna hold it. All right.
I, John R. Ferretti, do solemnly swear to
to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and the Code of the Town of Hempstead, and I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Supervisor of the Town of Hempstead to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Great job.
Mr. Supervisor, Mr. Supervisor, I'm going to ask if the continued chanting occurs, everybody shall be allowed to direct it and get their 3 minutes to address the town board and the supervisor. However, if you continue to shout, and quite frankly, I've been here for 3 years and it's getting a little rowdy, I'm going to direct the supervisor to consider suspending the public comment. So a little decorum, and you'll get to be heard.
Democracy. We pay your salary. They're the people. We the people. We're the people.
Thank you so much. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you.
Supervisor Ferretti.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
We're going. Let's go.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Now that the formal town board meeting is ended, the town board will remain to listen to the comments of the residents. First up, we have Edward Duffy. Mr. Duffy. Oh. Do we have Mr. Duffy? Okay. Pearl Jacobs. Hello, Ms. Jacobs. If you could just state your name and address for the record, please.
Pearl Jacobs, President of the Nostrand Garden Civic Association in Uniondale. Supervisor Gooseby, Legislator Ferretti. Why wasn't town law followed today by appointing Deputy Supervisor Gooseby as town supervisor? But again, I say Supervisor Gooseby. Supervisor Clavin, even though you're probably in the back room listening, you appointed Senior Councilwoman Dorothy Gooseby as your Deputy Supervisor in 2023, and now you are bypassing her for the appointment to Town of Hempstead Supervisor. Why, I ask? Is it because you feel that she is incapable of performing her duties as supervisor? Is it because she is a woman of color? This cannot be. So as I refer to your quote in the Garden City Patch on March 3rd, 2020, you stated as follows: at a time when African Americans and other minority communities were underrepresented in Hempstead town government, Senior Councilwoman Gooseby challenged the status quo and fought for equal voting rights. I am personally honored to serve alongside this civil rights champion, and the town of Hempstead is proud to name Town Hall Plaza as Senior Councilwoman L. Gooseby Plaza, end quote. Residents are not stupid. We know this is an orchestrated tactic for John Ferretti to audition the next 3 months for this seat. In fact, he has already been campaigning, as he is seen on TV commercial and is pictured on the endless mailers that residents receive alongside you, Supervisor Clavin, and fellow council members. Either way, by not holding a special election, you are silencing the voices of the residents of the town of Hempstead. Surely you are not practicing good governance, the process of decision-making and implementation that is participatory, transparent, accountable, effective, equitable, and rule-based. You will raise our taxes by 12%, and residents are excluded from submitting their choices for Town of Hempstead Supervisor. Why are you not allowing the voters to decide? Again, citing your article from the Patch, you praised then Senior Councilwoman Gooseby for challenging the status quo and fighting for equal voting rights. Yet you are participating in taking away the voting rights from the residents of Town of Hempstead. I would hope that our local government that represents the largest township in America is not heading towards an authoritarian government. Let the voice of the people be heard.
Thank you. James Jacob.
James Jacob, right? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. This is some questions for my own clarification. When you were on the county legislature, I noticed that there was a policy that when they wanted to fund the fire department, certain political parties had all their funding passed, but those in the opposition party are still waiting. So being that you appointed this new position, are you still going to have that same type of policy as town supervisor? Reason I say that, because Uniondale have been advocating for services like water tower, better street service, and so forth. And I'm hoping that, being that I guess you believe in fair elections, fair and equitable elections, and I find this kind of distasteful, because being appointed in your position now, you automatically get funding, while your challenger has to scrimp and constantly fundraise to challenge you. See, even though I moved up to Nassau County, they told me that it was a very welcoming place and a fair place to live, and you get fairly treated. But as a taxpayer and a shareholder, sometimes I see that maybe because I don't live in a certain hamlet or a certain village, I'm treated like a second-class citizen. So I hope, being that you got in this position, that you be fair to everyone and treat everyone, and have town hall meetings that when we send out some local civics, such as Uniondale Community Council, or go out and so forth, that at least a representative be sent there, because it's very disheartening that every election year we're ignored. Every election year we get our taxes taken from us, and then we have to come here and plead our case for just basic services. So I'm wishing you well, but I hope you believe in fair election, and hopefully we'll see what happens in November. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up is Paris Popak. Good morning, Ms. Popak. If you could just give your name and address, please.
Sure. Paris Popak. I live on 371 Kenridge Road in Lawrence.
Good morning.
Okay, so this isn't such a nice speech today, because I'm very frustrated for my community about the development that was reversed. Okay, and you're going to inherit a real doozy. So, good morning, and thank you for letting me speak. I, Paris Popak, am the immediate past Deputy Mayor of Lawrence and a community advocate. I stand here representing thousands of Five Towns residents who feel deeply betrayed by your board and by Bruce Blakeman regarding your refusal to revote to repeal the TOD zoning in North Lawrence and Inwood. You all know, and it's well known throughout our community, that the original decision to change the zoning in 2019 was not done honestly. We were told the hearing would take place in the summer, and then, surprise, it took place in the spring. without proper notice. The town board was manipulated into voting for this, and the engineering report was not accurate. This has been proven true with the recent Nelson Pope Boris engineering report. The residents in the 5 towns and beyond have spoken out against this disastrous, dangerous development on 3 separate petitions and in-person multiple Town of Hempstead board meetings in the past 3 years. This is now my 8th meeting that I have attended regarding this issue. You know how serious this is to our community, our safety, and our quality of life, yet you've turned your back on us. Why are you going forward with developers who have given large political contributions to certain elected officials? Why are you going forward with developers when the entire community is against this? And why, when the recent engineering report showed that this is dangerous and damaging for us? Were you pressured by the developers, by lobbyists? Were you pressured by Bruce Blakeman, who never had our support on this project? Why did you rush to appoint a design review committee within the days of a judge's decision rather than immediately repealing this once again and following proper procedures? It is unforgivable and shocking that you are not doing the right thing for our community, that you are not standing by your unanimous decision in 2024 to rescind this change. This is pure betrayal to your constituents and has the appearance of corruption. Listen to the people, not the developers or Bruce Blakeman and other political players. We, the residents, your constituents, do not accept your negligence and insist you revote and pass the repeal properly. You must do the right thing. Keep your word and protect our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Daniel Oppenheimer.
Good morning. My name is Dan Oppenheimer. I'm a resident of the village of Hempstead. I'm disappointed today, not surprised, but disappointed once again in the political maneuvering that is being done here. I'll keep it pretty brief and just say the word November. November is the election. It is my hope that this will bring out all of the supporters for Joe Schnablo, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's time for this to stop. There's also an effort to change the state laws that allow this to happen on a regular, routine basis for political reasons, not for personal medical reasons, not for emergency reasons, simply for political expediency. I think it's wrong. And for all of those who support you, that is their right. I'm disappointed in Dorothy Gooseby. I'm going to break with some of my Village of Hempstead colleagues and cohort. On the plaque outside, it says, "A champion of voting rights in America's largest township." This was true many years ago, and perhaps even up till recently. But today, she is a champion of 5 people voting in August. I think there's something wrong with that. I'm wondering who the next resignation will be. Maybe it's time. You should consider that. You are not representing the people who have elected you. That's my personal opinion. You may disagree. You're free to disagree. Now, before his recent untimely departure, I received a nice brochure from, it actually says Clavin Ferretti. I thought maybe it was a new law firm. Clavin Ferretti brings palm trees to town pools. Sounds nice. Reading through it, it says that these were donated by a gentleman named Butch Yamali. This gentleman has a contract with the town of Hempstead to operate Malibu Beach concessions through the year 2036, and with the county to operate Nickerson Beach concessions through 2032. It sounds more like a kickback to me than a donation. So you got your 40 palm trees. Congratulations. Once again, November is a time, I hope this will be a short run for you. I would hope in that time you don't do any harm to the residents of the town of Hempstead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day. Stephanie Capuano.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Capuano, Wantor. First, I wanted to thank Donald Clavin for the help that he tried to do at the shelter, animal shelter. I was here active, very active with the shelter for a while. And now I'm just going to say that we need a level playing field with checks and balances. I'm a person of Nassau County. I pay a lot of taxes. I have a voice, and we need an interim deputy supervisor if he steps down. Not that this is not legal, I don't think. But anyway, we have an election by the people in November. Today is not the election day. So I'm not happy at all. And I know the board is stacked in the favor, so this was just, I don't think it's funny either, Mr. Ferrante, whatever your name is. But I really don't think it's legal that I don't think it's funny that you're turning around and laughing on your first day, supposed. But we're on the brink of losing our democracy. I need to trust people. Even Bruce Blakeman said that I have a right to vote, and I have a right to exercise my right. And now, in November, this election is going to be stacked in your favor because of all the advertising and everything else you'll be doing for 3 months. And what is happening with your job now? What's going on with the job you just vacated? Who's helping them? All your constituents. I don't think it's fair. This is not level. And I think that Nassau County is being infiltrated, just like the whole world is actually right now, but especially the United States of America. Nobody's going to want to come here. Everybody laughs at us now. This is not an authoritarian government. We need checks and balances and a level playing field. This is not level. This is not fair. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day. Kelly Johnson.
Pleasant Tuesday. My name is Kelly Johnson, but I prefer to be called Ms. DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. I select that.
Ms. Johnson, if you could just give your address for the record, please.
I repeat that, please.
Yes, if you could please give your address for the record. Your address for the record.
Okay, I'm hearing too many people at a time, so repeat what you're saying, please.
If you could please give your address for the record.
I am giving my address for the record. Again, my name is Kelly Johnson, but I prefer to be called DEI, Ms. Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. I prefer that because I am African American, a descendant of slaves. I am female, and I am gay, none of which are choices of my own choosing. So please call me Miss DEI. And I recognize that DEI is kind of on the outs with this current political party and the current political climate. I am actually addressing the parents, the grandparents, the residents of Nassau County. Because what we've seen today is not new in the United States of America, though the residents of Nassau County may not be aware of it, because the textbooks provided to the residents of Nassau County are void of some of the content that the same textbooks of the same title have distributed to other areas throughout the United States, with the exception of Florida, Texas, and other left-leaning counties in the United States of America. So some residents of Nassau County might think this is new or normal. It is not normal. Now, I want to continue with this. The game played today is interesting. We have a political party that fears orange hair on teachers, but does not disapprove of images of President Biden, former President Biden, on pickup trucks being hogtied. So what is the message that the residents of Nassau County should receive from this? That violence is okay. I worry about my grandchild and the schools that he goes to because those pickup trucks are outside of schools. Those pickup trucks are outside of places of worship. Those pickup trucks are outside of strip malls and apartment stores and grocery stores. Now, I recognize that this doesn't disturb you because this is what you approve of. I get it. So my message isn't for you. Lastly, I'm going to say this. Gooseby, you're like Tim Scott to me. You're a tool being used. And Tim Scott smiles as he stands beside tall President Trump and is being used as a tool.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Okay, we have Darren Ward. Mr. Ward. Oh. No. Okay. Lorraine Atias.
Good afternoon. My name is Lorraine Atias, and I just have to say,
Ms. Atias, if you could just give your address, please, for the record.
I live in East Meadow.
Thank you.
I've been living in East Meadow for 40 years. I am so ashamed of this board. And I want to say something to the attorney who said that we don't know the facts about the whatever it was, the 12% tax hike, because it was done in the dark of night, which is what you guys love to do when everyone in the town is sleeping. Okay, so the other issue I want to bring up is, first of all, how shameful that Clavin couldn't face us and stand here and say, talk to us. That is so disgusting and shameful, but that's the way it goes. The other thing I wanted to say is that we have a constitution in this country. Maybe you don't realize it. And the Constitution calls for votes. And we believe, the constituents of the town of Hempstead, believe that a special election was in order to choose somebody who is now sitting here in front of us. And we are very angry, and we look forward to November 5th, when we can say that Joe Scianablo is our town supervisor.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day. Joe Scianablo.
I didn't start speaking yet, but you hit the button. Look, I'm not surprised, just like the gentleman said before, and I'll take back my couple seconds in a minute. We knew this was going to happen. There was a Newsday article yesterday where party leadership explained it most likely will. It's not a surprise, right? We want elections instead of selections. They don't. This is the problem. Career politicians taking care of themselves before the people. I stand here before you as a United States Marine combat veteran, as a retired New York City police officer, and a former prosecutor. All of those titles I've earned. I wasn't groomed for them. They weren't handed to me. And I will continue to earn every title I receive. Town of Hempstead Supervisor being one of them. Look, I saw the mailing too. The gentleman brought it up before. Clavin and Ferretti, page 1. Clavin and Ferretti, page 2. Clavin and Ferretti, page 3 and page 4. And yes, we deal in facts. The facts are Clavin and Ferretti raised our taxes over 12%, taking care of political insiders and not the people. The facts are this stunt cost taxpayer money. This is costing money. Your salary is going up $60,000 for an appointment, not even an election, where we have a fully elected board. And look, I want to cite the party bosses, right, from the paper yesterday. They're worried about continuity in governance. That's why this is needed. That's what we were told. Guess what? Largest township in the country, we have a fully elected board. Continuity in governance would remain. But guess what happened? People put party over the people. Somebody resigned from Legislative District 15 today, because you can't have both jobs. leaving his constituents high and dry for 4 months. So the article from yesterday we read about continuity in governance, reeks of hypocrisy. This is a political stunt, and that's why, look, not surprised it's happening, but that's why we have overwhelming support for the bill that we're pushing through the state to be known as the Clavin-Ferretti bill. It will be synonymous with corruption in New York State till the end of time. Overwhelming support. But that's okay. I'm speaking here on behalf of the people. I'm not standing here as a career politician, as a political insider. I actually don't like being referred to as a politician. I'm a public servant, a dedicated public servant.
Okay, thank you, sir. Have a good day. Next up is Monica Kiley. Monica Kiley. Okay, is Miss Kiley here?
She's coming. She's coming back.
Monica Kiley, Garden City, New York.
Good morning.
Afternoon. I'd like to take a minute to express my disgust at the town board's approval of slot machines and gambling as a fine use of public land at Nassau Coliseum. You pretty much guaranteed that's what's going to happen there. You flew in the face of your constituents, both Democrat and Republican. There are plenty of Republicans opposed to gambling at the hub, slot machines at the hub. Lots of Republicans didn't want slot machines at Fortunoff's, slot machines at Belmont. Now you've ushered in slot machines at the hub, which, by the way, the public owns. You flew in the face of your own constituents. And you're up here smiling today as if something good's happening. As part of a group, Say No to the Casino, who struggled to educate the public about the casino proposal and about what was going on at Nassau County and Town of Hempstead, basic information, we struggled. We don't have any money. You've got a lot of money for public education because every day I go out to my mailbox and there's something there. And Don Clavin's picture, Muscarella, your picture, whose ever picture, plastered all over it every time. These are thinly disguised campaign mailers, guys. You don't need to send a mailer out for thousands of dollars every time to tell people about Passport Day. Because guess what? We have something called the internet and Google. And people who want to find out about how to get a passport can do it. Fellow Republicans, many of you are in this room. I'm embarrassed to be a Republican today, okay? We can do better than this. You think we have the winning party, the winning philosophy, the winning strategy for Town of Hempstead? Great, let's have a free and fair election. We don't need to steal the supervisor spot by appointing somebody and then plastering his face all over mailers to be sent out at taxpayer expense. That's not what we need to do, Republicans. We can win a fair election. But you need to listen to the voters and your constituents, and we need to not ignore our constituents and answer to who? Fill in the blank. Very disappointed. Our next goal will be rolling back the legalization of gambling at the Nassau Hub, which probably 90% of residents.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Kiley. Is there anyone that has not signed in that wishes to be heard?
Ready? You ready?
Okay, so that is the full list that I have, but everybody will have an opportunity to speak, okay, in an orderly manner. So first up, sir?
Yes.
You can state your name and address, please, for the record.
Chris Jacobs, Uniondale, New York. It should be afternoon now, no, still morning. I just wanted to ensure that to excerpt from an article for January 23rd, 1st, 2025. Then Town Supervisor Clavin approved for the water tower to be fixed at the Turtle Hook, at the site of Turtle Hook Middle School. So I'm just want to make sure that that contract goes through. They said they would secure a bid in the summertime because that, it's the worst water tower, and also it's the environmental injustice for the minority community of Uniondale. So I wanted to show that that is going to be bidded on, and that the process will continue. And as for the today, when this whole thing took place today with the switching of it, I just go back to what I learned as a kid. If I'm very confident in something, I have the ability to beat my opponent. I don't need to cheat. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Hi, good afternoon. If you could just give your name and address, please.
Yes, Claudia Burecki. I was one of the first ones to sign in, by the way. And I'm a resident of Merrick, president of the Belmore Merrick Democratic Club. As Democrats, we advocate for the principles enshrined in the U.S. Constitution. By promoting Ferretti in mailers paid for with public funds, the town is violating the 14th Amendment, which guarantees equal protection under the law. Quote, equal protection means that a government must apply its laws fairly and cannot treat people differently without a valid reason. Individuals in similar situations should be treated alike under the law. It is estimated that the town spends approximately $80,000 to produce and mail just one townwide mailer. In 2024, the town sent out 48 nearly weekly mailers. This year, with an election year, with a 12.1% increase in tax revenue to support these mailers, it is expected the town will send out approximately 15 mailers promoting Ferretti in the weeks leading up to Election Day, totaling more than $1.2 million in thinly veiled campaign pieces. This clearly violates the 14th Amendment of the Constitution by not treating individuals in similar situations alike under the law. Giving advertising dollars to one candidate and not another is unconstitutional. We advocate for a democratic process where fairness and equality are at the forefront of our electoral system. The appointment of a Republican candidate by the town creates an uneven playing field that benefits incumbents. In Nassau County, where the Democratic population significantly outnumbers Republicans, there's a dominance of Republican-controlled towns and cities, boasted by gerrymandering tactics. By further appointing, allowing appointments that create incumbents, the GOP rigs our elections to hold on to power. What's even more egregious is the fact that the town is already spending public funds on the GOP candidate before Clavin had even left office. In July, the town sent out a 4-page color newsletter that mentions John Ferretti's name 16 times and shows 6 photos of him advertising, 6 photos of him, giving him credit for programs that he had nothing to do with. The town is already funding advertising dollars to one candidate for supervisor without any funds for an individual in a similar situation. The Belmore Merrick Democratic Club urges the town to allow voters to freely choose their next supervisor instead of gifting incumbency to a preferred candidate. To ensure a level playing field, the town must either refrain from any mailings or television ads promoting Ferretti.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Barecki. And thank you so much. Have a great day. All right, thank you. Have a great day. Good afternoon, sir. If you could just give your name and address, please, for the record.
James Hodge. Just want to say, what we saw here, and I want to say for the record that Kate Murray disrespected the deputy supervisor by not letting her speak. She did not vote. She did not vote for this, but nobody heard it because you skipped past her when she was trying to speak. She did not vote, and that's on record. But what everybody saw today was cheating. If you ever played sports, it's a false start. You did this to be able to get hundreds of thousands of dollars of free mailers. You did it because you can't seem to compete fairly. You did it and your family saw you cheat. We're used to this in America. We're used to what they're trying to do in the state of Texas. You cheated to get on all of the free mailers that will go out as town supervisor. You cheated. If you played football, you would be offside. I did karate many times and I love to fight. And so what you did was you gave a cheap shot. What you did, and your children and your family saw you cheating here in the town of Hempstead, the largest township in America. They see this and they need to recognize this all over the country, that here in the town of Hempstead, by virtue of the law you have, it was supposed to go to the deputy, the vice, the next one in line. But since you feel you can't win fairly against a combat veteran that fought for our freedom, a prosecutor, a former police officer, if you were so real and wanted to play fairly, you would have said, I don't want to take the position now. Give it to the next person in line and I'll continue running. But you want to be on the free mailers. So just so you know, and I want everybody to know, you're cheating. You gave a cheap shot. You're offsides. You, mister, you're in a position now because you cheated. Remember your history. I pray that God see every one of you that voted for this. God sees everything. So to each and every one of you, whatever good you have done, whatever, and I'll never discredit Deputy Supervisor, auntie to me. She did not vote on this. She was done wrong. Again, you guys did wrong by this vote. So Ferretti, remember this. And as your children recognize, and I say that because they're here, no disrespect to them, but this is history. This should be in the history books. You cheated in history in 2025. Understand that you did it. This disenfranchised so many voters, so you can have a upper level or upper hand on this election. So again, I say to you and everybody here, no matter what this election is, everybody in the town of Hempstead, please see.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next up.
My name is Pamela Korn. I'm from Hewlett. I taught U.S. history and government for over 30 years. I know something about democracy. What went on here today was not democracy. First of all, the town of Hempstead residents have a very capable deputy supervisor in Dorothy Goldsby. Selecting Ferretti as town supervisor is against the town codes, which state that the deputy supervisor should be appointed if the town supervisor position becomes vacant. In addition, appointing Ferretti was a great disrespect to Ms. Gooseby, the most prominent and accomplished member of this town board. It was also disrespecting her constituents. Second of all, we know why Mr. Ferretti would be appointed. We know that there will be the mailers with his photo plastered all over it, which will serve as campaign materials paid for by the taxpayers' hard-earned tax dollars. I just received the same mailer that we were talking about. We know these mailers are not provided to be informational. Otherwise, we would have gotten one about the 4.9% tax increase or 12% tax increase. We really don't have the information because we never got a mailer about it. These mailers are used to promote incumbents running for office at taxpayers rather than campaign funds. I am distressed about what went on today. It was not democracy.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lynn Krug, Garden City, New York. Well, Mr. Clavin and this board, you did us dirty and sold us out. First, you raised taxes 12.1%, exceeding the state tax cap, and adopted a $549 million budget when you knew you would not be seeking re-election. Even worse, you presided over the creation of a gambling zone at the Coliseum, fully knowing that your constituents were strongly opposed to it and what the end result might be. By approving this zoning change, you rolled out the red carpet for a slot parlor between two colleges and across from a cancer center. For decades, plan after plan at the Nassau hub has failed. The Coliseum is often vacant. The acres of asphalt surrounding it are empty. What we needed was a vision. And yet you guys on this board never offered a vision.
or a plan for the hub that would enhance this community. And now to top it off, your tenure as supervisor was exactly what I thought would happen. You followed the footsteps of your predecessors by replacing an election with a backroom appointment. Suddenly, Ferretti is everywhere, all over the July newsletter and in nearly every one of your Facebook posts. Essentially, you are spending taxpayer dollars on his campaign, which is unethical and prohibited in New York State. Townships are prohibited from using public funds or resources to actively campaign for or against a particular candidate for public office. It's critical that township officials and employees do not use government funds. And especially in a township that receives federal funding, employees may be subject to the Hatch Act, which places further restrictions on their participation in partisan political activities. Hempstead Town Code, Chapter 21, obviously you haven't read it. Deputy supervisors exist and become effective on January 4th, 2000. In cases the office of the supervisor becomes vacant, the deputy supervisor in the office at that time shall assume all duties and obligations of the supervisor under the code of the town of Hempstead and the town law, the state of New York, and shall continue in such capacity until a new supervisor shall assume office. Seriously, Mr. Clavin, you have already circumvented our town code and violated New York state law if you appoint Ferretti to assume the position of supervisor. But since she resigned, it's really Dorothy Gooseby who let us down right now. It's a pretty bad look for someone who aspires to be a judge charged with upholding the law in the service of justice.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Hello, Miss Meriday, how are you? Ma'am, thank you. Okay, thank you. Hi, Miss Meriday, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And just so y'all know, I have my passport, so until, the White House in their attempts to minimize, neutralize, and weaponize those of us who were legally born here, third and fourth generation, it's coming. Just so those of you who think you can kick everybody else to the curb or, like the goat leading the sheep to the slaughter, when he started falling in and asked what happened, it was your turn. So there we go. Since my new friend here took my Miss DEI, my new name is Miss VTO. Vote them out. Period. So as far as who I name or give resonance to, the next supervisor I hope to address would be calling him Supervisor Joe. Because, the name Joe for me resonates because I was very involved with the national side when there was a President Joe and then there was a President Barack. But, since we have what we have now, I'm now dealing with, veterans who are committing suicide at a greater rate. I have seniors that are losing their homes at a greater rate. I have young people who are also losing their life in comparable numbers to our veterans. But I come before this board and say, are we giving a contract to a service-disabled veteran? And I'm told we're following the law as outlined by the state of New York. Vote them out. Mr. Ferretti, and if you do get elected, because, the deal is stacked, I get it, then I will have to call you supervisor. But right now I don't. So, where we are now, residents, there is a Democratic majority. It is up to you to get them out to vote. In Alabama, when folks could not vote, Montgomery bus boycott. They walked, they carpooled, okay? They called their neighbors. This is what you need to do, as Monica said. Republicans and Democrats, this is the United States. of America. This is not the united, significant, authoritarian populace, okay? We have comrades in Nassau County. We have comrades here. We don't have colleagues, and we don't have elected officials. Vote them out. And this is the one time you don't have to kick me off here. I'm leaving.
Thank you, Ms. Meriday. Good afternoon, sir. If you could give your name and address, please, for the record.
The name is Joseph Lifschutz, Regent Drive in Lawrence, and I'm here representing thousands of people in the 5 towns who are totally opposed to the project that we're discussing in the TOD district. One man brought this to the fore. One man. And he convinced everybody that everybody in the 5 towns was in favor of this. Well, everybody is not in favor of this. Yes, developers are in favor of it, and he knows the developers, but this man proceeded under false assumptions and led people to believe other people were in favor of it. And this went on, this was in 2019. This has been going on now for many years. And we've had many meetings in the last few years, and I've spoken here for the last few years. There was a meeting here maybe a year or two ago. 1,000 people were here, 1,000 people from the 5 towns protesting against this thing. So we have one man started the project. I met another man who was sitting up there, who was Donald Clavin, who was the supervisor, a very fine man, and I wish him well wherever he's going. He held meetings that he allowed everybody to speak and everybody to voice their opinions, and I give him a lot of credit for what he did. He seemed to understand our problem. This is another one man. He seemed to understand the problem that that other man, Bruce Blakeman, did not understand, and that and to this day believes that's the project. Thousands of development on 73 acres urban development on the borders of the 5 towns, a suburban area. A total disaster. A new engineering company was brought in and said it's a disaster. It's not working. So what do we have today? We have now, and under Donald Clavin, this thing was repealed. In November 24, the board took wonderful position and repealed the zoning. We thought everything was fine, but the court said there was something missing. A Nassau County approval. So it went back to the court. The issue is now alive again. We have a new council supervisor, Mr. Ferris, who I hope will be in the same vein as Donald Clavin was. Donald Clavin saw fit to repeal this zoning. Remember, Donald Clavin repealed this zoning. We're asking this board now that has to be looked at this matter again because of a technicality to repeat what Donald Clavin has done, this fine deed, this listening to the masses and understanding what's going on. He repealed it. I'm asking the supervisor, Ferris, to start his reign with a good feeling for people and to listen to your constituents and to pass and to do the repeal again that has to be redone to correct the error. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Marcia D. Thierry, Merrick, New York. I'm just hoping that in November, the best man win, someone that cares about the environment, cares about the animals, cares about his constituents. And it's very disappointing how this legally happened today. I have some things I wanted to submit to the town. It's about overdevelopment and the reason our taxes are so high. Tree preservation, as the board members know, it was going to be put into place and then it was taken away because 2 of the board members didn't think it was important. I have an article on how trees transform communities. Trees remove carbon from the atmosphere, exchanging it to oxygen, provide food and shelter for native wildlife. According to the Arbor Day Foundation Canopy Report, 90% of Americans say trees and green spaces contribute to their mental well-being, particularly by reducing stress, improving mood, and clearing the mind. Trees also positively impact property values and lower crime rates, boost curb appeal, reduce noise pollution, and create a safe neighborhood atmosphere. In addition to their environmental and mental health benefits, in such stressful times, heat indexes are off the charts. Trees lower air temperature, water shortages, trees shade properties so less watering is needed. Electric bills skyrocketing. Trees shading your home reduces the need for constant air conditioning. Gas leaf blowers creating noise and air pollution. Trees reduce noise and filter the air. Traffic jams producing more exhaust fumes. Mature trees remove much of those fumes. I am requesting once again that whoever does take supervisor place in November, that tree ordinances are to be put into place. Developers that get their variance and build tremendous homes, clear cut every single tree legally, please make a positive impact on our community by protecting nature, wildlife, and ultimately our lives. Please do not let developers and tree removal companies rule this township. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Hey, John.
Hi.
Diane Madden, Hempstead. You guys must be absolutely petrified of losing. This is why they call you political elites. And this is why the world is saying no more career politicians. And it's your own fault. Even this appointment today. I mean, I would never do it, John, but I would never bring my family to witness this. It's like the Coldplay guy, the CEO from Coldplay, and how the world went crazy because nobody likes a cheater. I'd like to ask some questions. I'd like to know what you're going to do about the animal shelter. Your opponent, Joseph Schnablo, is claiming that he will do that's okay, Councilman Dunn, he knows not to speak. He follows orders. Joe Schnablo will be calling on an audit financially and operationally. I'd like to know what you're going to do to fix the shelter, John. I know you're come across as a big animal advocate, an animal lover. We actually had to call your people to remind them that your registration after years wasn't even on the internet. Something I worked on with you and stepped away from because I saw the direction it was going in. I'll never have the reputation to fool the public at their expense. I'd like to know when Joe Schnablo wins, will you be relinquishing that seat? In November, will you step down if he wins? I'd like to speak to the board. Please don't bother to take oaths anymore. It's such an insult to us. Don't take political oaths to the people because you do not withhold them. And I don't know in those thrones that you're sitting on, if you can hear the blood-curdling screams due to injuries at the animal shelter. I've been begging for years, please get in a non-political, unbiased, full-time trainer to prevent these injuries. Yet you've had another one that I'm told the volunteer almost died. And the acting director succumbed to an injury that she exposed herself to by violating the shelter's own policies. Lawsuits that we'll pay for, in addition to the 3 lawsuits that are within the past month in relation to violations of the Constitution. I'd like to know what's happening with Buster Brown, town attorney, the new titan that you're torturing, leaving off the adoption floor with no voice, kind of like what you've done to the people. What's different today, though, after 25 years, I've never witnessed so many people coming out. Not one person congratulated you, John, not one. Because it would be like congratulating the Coldplay CEO guy.
Thank you so much, Ms. Madden. Great to see you. Next up, please.
Hello?
Hi. If you could just give your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, I live in Garden City. My name is Tom Welch. Tom Welch was also my grandfather's name. He had dementia that he lived with for about 12 years, but even he remembered that people are supposed to be honest. Councilman Muscarella, I called your office less than a month ago following the most recent town board meeting, and I asked about the about what happened today, about what we all knew was going to happen, whether you were on board with it. I don't know how in the loop you keep the people in your office, but I was told nothing. The person on the other end played dumb with me. Don't play dumb with voters. Don't leak on me and tell me it's raining. Legislator Ferretti, you've come from a completely separate legislative body and have been elevated above everyone on this council who has usurped the voters. It's a shame. It's a shame that there aren't other people here to witness this beyond those of us who are incredibly engaged with politics. It's a shame that there aren't many young people here to see what is happening in their town. But perhaps it's a good thing because I think it would only turn them even further away from the political process. I know that you were young once, like I am now. I can't imagine you anticipated that your career would take you to this point where you would pull such an underhanded move on the people that you're supposed to represent. The new supervisor, growing up, I don't know if you were subjected to any bullying because of your name. A ferret is not a far leap to another animal, and you've really weaseled your way into this one. All I have to say is everyone should get out and vote in November. Yeah, they may think that they can use us as chips, as pawns. They think that they could reign over us. This is a bottom-up country. This is a country for good men and for good women who can look you in the eyes and be honest about what their intentions are. So I have to say, shame on you. I'm incredibly disappointed in you, Councilman Muscarella, especially. And I look forward to voting against you in November.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day. Yes, hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Marianne Morgan. I live in Garden City. I come here today as a teacher, public servant. I teach United States government. I'd like to personally address you, Mr. Ferretti. As a town of Hempstead resident, I'm disappointed that you took advantage of a loophole that allowed you to take the role of Town of Hempstead Supervisor today. Doing that is not honorable. Honor has many definitions. For me, the meaning of honor is doing the right thing when making the toughest of decisions. If you can't be honorable now, how will you be honorable in the future?
Yes, absolutely.
As a mom, a wife, a woman, a teacher, a public servant, what you did today was not honorable, and you let me down.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, we do have, I think, did you sign in, sir? I have you on the list. If you, Assemblyman Noah Burrows.
Good morning, good afternoon, rather. I'm just here to speak on behalf of the town, right? So all the individuals that are speaking here, they're just upset, right, and frustrated. So if you look throughout the course of history, especially in Nassau County, especially in Long Island, there have been things that have been done to keep people's voices from being heard. And what you just heard here is people that are completely expressing their frustration, and they're telling you that no more. They won't stand for this anymore. Neither will I, which is why I introduced a bill to stop this. This appointment may have taken place, but today will be the last opportunity for this to happen. And for the young gentleman that was just here, there aren't many young people here, but it doesn't matter. It's our job to go out there and speak to the young people, to get the young people to understand what happened today and what has happened in the past. 6 out of 10 of the last elections have been appointments, which is a selection, not an election, which is not democratic, which is not what Nassau County should be about, which is not what Long Island will be about. And as long as I have breath in me, I will continue to fight against this process, which took place here today. And I'm not saying this to be rude, but what I am saying is that the fact that I'm here, the fact that I left doing what I love doing because of things like this, shows that others are also tired of it. They no longer want to sit back idle and watch people just control their lives. So young people will be incorporated into this election. So will I, and so will many others, and we will make sure that this won't happen again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. If you could just give your name and address, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Stephanie Chase. I'm from the Hamlet of Lakeview. I wasn't going to speak. I wasn't going to come to the meeting, to tell you the truth, and something said go. And I'm really glad I did. Ms. Ryder, you have been wonderful with my community. No complaints. Ms. Goolsby, you've been wonderful in the past. But what happened here, I'm just in shock. I was with the late Honorable Scotty Codes. I was the lead plaintiff in the redistricting, and this just seems like it just uprooted that whole thing. I see many people who are here who were at the district meetings night after night. I see you all. I remember you. And I can't believe that you think this is fair. And to piggyback, what are you afraid of? You just slid in. I don't even know you. Are you gonna come at least address people and introduce yourself? I just can't believe this happened. You just slid in to ensure that you'll be here like a slithering snake. And I'm really unhappy about this because I don't feel that there's a democracy anymore. I could see it on the federal level, and now I'm seeing it even worse here. I just wish you would reconsider or just realize what you're doing. This is not fair. And you don't even care about Democratic people or anybody else. And that's the way it's always been. You only care about Republicans and rich people, and everybody else is just frailing. And I just can't believe I saw this today. But this is going to be history, and all of your names are going to be on it. I'm just shocked. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'd first like to say this is my...
I'm sorry, could you just give your name and address for the record?
Sorry, Mary Stack, Point Lookout, New York. This is my very first town meeting that I've ever attended. I happened by chance to find out yesterday afternoon at the post office, which, by the way, has a recycle bin, which is daily overflowing with the mailers, so you can save the money there. Okay, I intended to address the likely appointment of John Ferretti to the office for supervisor, and I guess that's kind of moot now. I was going to ask if there were special elections or if it was going to go to the current deputy supervisor. So I would like to introduce the word of the day: shenanigans. The definition is secret or dishonest activity or maneuvering. God bless you, thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Kiana Bieria Anderson. I am here representing myself, but also a lot of organizations and individuals that represent Long Island. I'll properly introduce myself to the group just to let you know I am 32 years as of July 22nd. My birthday was this year. And a little history about myself, I actually did an internship under County Executive Ed Mangano, under which I had the opportunity to go door to door on taxpayer dollars promoting the county executive's work. Something that is not, none of this is new. And I'm glad that there are people here at all to even hear this. But again, I'm 32 years of age, and under County Executive Ed Mangano, who was now indicted under corruption charges 32 years ago and serving in jail, that this is legal. They are using legal loopholes that currently exist in our town codes to do this. So as much as I would abash you all for this behavior, there's no point because you have legalized corruption. So my options as a young person are to proceed and do my own corrupt behavior and follow those of my elders, or I can unabashedly, unashamedly tell you that not only do I want to support term limits, but I want age limits. I want every law that is related that has allowed this corruption to exist, not just on the town level, but in the villages, in the counties, on the school boards, on the library boards, because this is not just a one-time thing. And this is an affront, especially Councilwoman Gooseby, you had to sue to even have your seat created. So to allow someone like John Ferretti and the rest of these boards, Muscarella has served in different offices. Who are you? Mr. Dune, you've served in different offices. You repeatedly just go to different offices, you go to different elected positions and play these games. You continue to play political games, and not only does it cost us our solvency, our independent existence as municipalities, but it completely undermines the value of democracy. So there's no point in calling ourselves Democrats or Republicans or even a democratic republic. We are not Democrats, we are authoritarians. So let's own that, let's be honest about that, let's stop lying about it, and let's further move faster into the 1920s and continue forward with the Nazi regime. If that's who we want to be, if that's who we are, I as the descendant of your behavior am going to do the exact same things that you are going to do. Do you like that? Will you tolerate that? Will you allow that to exist? Because I know how to organize. I know how to work under this. I know how to fix this. I can choose to fix it, or I can choose to keep it. And I'm going to let you know right now, when I decide to run for office, there might be a few things that I decide to keep just to make the job easier for myself. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. As there are no further speakers, that concludes our public. Oh, I apologize, Deputy Supervisor.
Hello, I would like to say one thing, and that is the fact that I'm listening to some of you, and I think what you're saying, some of you, is correct. As she said, in 1988 was the time that I, along with Fred K. Burnton and many others, sued for what we've gotten. And I was told by the person who's in charge of that in the state of New York, he said to me, I don't want you to run. But it didn't matter to me what he said, but we worked and we had good people who really worked and did what we needed to do. In 99, when time came for me to take office, he called me again and he said to me, I don't want you to run. But thank God my husband was with me and he had his finger up, his hand up. That meant something. But I said to him again, sir, I had one father and he doesn't look like you. And I can tell you even now, when I'm working with people here who come to these meetings, they don't come to support me. They come and act terribly. It's so bad the way they act. And I can tell you one thing, Fred is on this. It's going to come out what's happening. I'm just not saying any more about it because he's going to take care of it. And I would really like for people to come and really want to make sure that we work together and we do what we should do. I don't like it when I hear people come in making all these things about me and it's not true. You don't know how hard I work to do what I need to do. Areas that I'm working in, some of you don't see you. You tell things about it, it's not true. I was home in my bed for three weeks, actually, because I had to do something that I should not have had to do that really made me ill. It really made me ill. So you can't say what I don't do. You complain about things, but you don't even come to say, what happened. I know someone, we had someone really I ran into a car, ran into those people right here in Roosevelt. And I was told, and I have some people here who work with me, and regardless, they really help. And I went up there and I know what happened. But then I get somebody sending me a letter. Oh, this happened and that happened and you didn't do this and do that. They don't even know. They just do things, and people are doing that now. So, and as far as what I have that's named for me outside, I really appreciate it. Nobody else has ever done anything like that. So it was something they did to really do it. And I worked very hard with this group. He's here now. He's the supervisor. I'm going to have to work with him, and he's going to work with me. So I don't need all this stuff that you're saying. Some of this are lies, and some people just come out just to say things that they shouldn't say. And that's not right. We should be working together so we can do what we need to do, because we're in bad shape now. There are many people in the village of Hempstead. In the village of Hempstead, we're in bad shape because we don't get the help that we should. We still need water in the village of Hempstead. And the person that came here, why don't they make sure that we get the water when I've asked for it to come into the committee? Older people cannot drink the water. We have to buy the water. So there's so many things that you need to really listen to and try to help work with it. It would make it so much better for all of us. I have worked and I still work, okay? I don't mind doing it. I do what I have to do, and I help a lot of people, and I'm going to still continue to do it. So make sure you do what you say is right.
Thank you so much, Deputy Supervisor. And we will work very well together. Thank you, Deputy Supervisor. That concludes the public comment. I wish you all an excellent day.